Next one from Ryan. Hey, Curtis, can you share your favorite high yield and disease resistant varieties of onions, tomatoes, peppers, garlic, peas, etc.? Yeah. Yeah, I would say all these varieties I would mention are along these lines. I mean, tomatoes are really only as disease resistant as you manage your greenhouse well. So keep that in mind. But starting from the top of your list, my favorite varieties of onions are Red Wing, #1 for red onions. And then that's actually it. That's my favorite variety of onion, bar none. It's the best storage onion. I've never really had disease problems on onions to begin with. So, but that's a really good yielder as well. Tomatoes, my favorite varieties depends what you're looking for, but Ox Hearts are my favorite, just overall variety. They're a good moneymaker. There's better moneymakers, but they're just overall good because they're a good canning tomato. They're a good processing tomato. They're a good slicer, and they're a high yielder. My favorite cherry varieties are Sun Gold #1. And then I would say Sweet Million as a red cherry, and then maybe as more of a plum tomato, Mountain Magic for sure. I think all these are F1s. Actually, Sun Gold is a heirloom, and so is Oxheart, but the others are F1s. And then what's it? San Marzano. That's my favorite Roma type tomato. And so all of those, if you want disease resistance, you're better off just grafting, especially if you're in a climate that's wet. You're just more prone to that stuff. Also, even if you're in a dry climate like me and you've grown tomatoes in the same greenhouse for 2 or 3 years, you're going to have to start grafting. Otherwise, you're going to have to move your tomatoes over, move your greenhouse, and then put tomatoes on any piece of ground. And that can be done. But if you're doing like permanent high tunnels that, you've got bells and whistles in there, like ventilation, automation, circulation, heat, and all that kind of stuff, humidity controls, you're not going to move those greenhouses. So if you're doing tomatoes in greenhouses like that, you have to graft. That's the way it is these days. Peppers. My favorite early pepper is Purple Islander, just because it's, when it's the color purple, that's its sort of green state. So you can sell a colored pepper early, and then it does ripen it kind of goes yellow and then it goes red if you keep it late in the season. That's my favorite pepper. Ace is another, just a good solid bell pepper. And then I love the Johnny's lunchbox peppers. And then another one is what's it called? Hungarian. I have stopped growing peppers commercially for a number of years, but what's that one? It's like it's a sweet pepper. It's a long one, Hungarian something. It's really good. Garlic, my 2 favorite varieties for up here, I just do hardneck garlic, is Ukrainian Mavniv and Russian Red. And then peas, my favorite pea is Sugar Ann and Sugar Snap. And yeah, that's it. And you said etc., but I don't know. What do you want me to list? 80 different vegetables that I've grown over the years. I'll just go with that for now, because that's specifically what you asked for. But those are my favorites. But keep in mind, when you ask for things like high yielding and disease resistant, if you're not in the same climate as me, like if you're not in a high desert that's a zone 6B or close to that, varieties are going to work differently for your climate. So you can use those things as a benchmark, but specifics are the devil's in the details, and your climate is going to give you different results, basically.